everyone. So the KO is down here on the South Coast this year. We're really excited to have it here in our hometown and on country. It's been a long time for us to get here to win it and to bring it home for our mob down here. It's a very important event. It's for the whole of New South Wales. It's for all our mobs to come together. So what I want to do today is just do a bit of information just around the KO. There's been a lot of questions asked on our social media. There's been questions come through our local council as well. But I thought that we could just nut out some questions and hopefully everyone will come and enjoy the KO. So just some information around the venues. So we've actually got 2 venues to run the KO. Now, this is because in our community, we didn't have a facility to actually hold the KO in one space. So we had to have it cross over to 2 different venues. So the first venue is the Bomaderry Sporting Complex, and then the second venue is out South Nowra at the rugby parks. So we've got 5 fields in total to actually run the whole KO event. So what we've got is, we've got the men's, we've got the women's, and we've got the youth teams all running over those 2 days. So with these venues, there's been a lot of questions, I know around Bomo, with people saying, is it going to be ready? And I think this is because people are getting confused with some work that's actually been done to top fields, which is AFL fields next to the basketball stadium. That is not the venue. The venue is actually down the road at the original footy fields that we play on a weekly basis during the year for our group games. So with the Bomaderry Sporting Complex, we've got all our marquees up, we've got a canteen that's going to be running, we're going to have all different sorts of foods. In addition to the canteen, there's going to be all different food vendors as well, given a variety of different foods. There's going to be healthy foods, and then there's going to be those yummy foods and everything for everyone to have. We also have an elders tent that's going to be at the field, so to make sure that we're looking after our elders, so that's 65 and above, is for all our elders to come in and have a space where they can just sit and relax, and hopefully we get some better weather, and if not, you can come into the tent and get out of the rain. So with the venues as well, for Bomaderry, there's been questions about marquees. So it is limited of the marquees that can actually go into the space, and what marquees can actually go in is designated spaces for certain teams. But in saying this, it is tight, so it's first in, best dressed, and that's just the way that we have to do it this year. So in saying that though, you can bring your chairs, like bring your umbrellas. You know, I think it's going to be wet, so make sure you got like good shoes, covered in shoes, just to take in the weather and whatever it comes. So with the South Nowra venue, again, it's similar to Bomaderry, but it's actually got 3 fields, not 2. So that's the difference. So that's where most games will be held for our youth. But in saying that as well, there is going to be similar vendors there with plenty of different food. Also at each of the venues, there has been questions around parking. So as you can imagine, we're limited on parking, right? So these aren't facilitated fields or built to carry for the tens of thousands of people that's actually going to come to the KO. But for us, it was really important that we hold our KO on the South Coast. It's the first time it's ever been done. So I hope that you can all understand this and really just be there to support us and to carry out the best KO ever. So in saying this, when we're talking about parking, it is limited, but again, first in, best dressed. Now, with disability parking, we've got, again, limited spaces for first in, best dressed. But if you have someone who's in a walker, who needs assistance, our elders, if you've got prams, we've actually got golf buggies at both sites, so that when you come to the entry, if you need that extra support and you can't walk too far, you can jump on the buggy and we'll drive you up to the front entrance. And with the buggies as well, we've actually got people who are going to be driving them, who are safe, from our community, who are friendly. All the staff that are going to be at the KO should be friendly, should be there for the mob and there to support the KO to run out. So with the parking as well, I know there's questions around shuttle buses, and like if people have got big coasters, we're going to do the best that we can so that you can come to the front of each venue, drop off the people you need to, and then you can go away and park somewhere else. There is parking spots around this area that we've designated for the KO specifically. and we've got shuttle buses allocated to those parking spots. With the parking spaces that we have with the shuttle buses, if you park in those spaces, we will have shuttle buses to pick you up and take you to the fields so that you don't miss out on the games. So with the ticketing, so what we have is the Friday, Monday and Sunday, they're all $10, and the Saturday is the $15. If you're 13 and under, you get in for free, and if you're 65 and over, you get in for free. You have to show ID if you're 65 and over, just to ensure that we're given the wristbands to the aunties and uncles so that they can have access to the elders tent. So when paying for your tickets, can we just be mindful too, as you all know, we've all experienced it when we've gone to different KOs, about the network and the Wi-Fi, because there's so many people trying to access their phones on the day, sometimes it can be a bit slow. So what we ask is if you can bring cash as well as your card to make payment for your tickets. Just in case if the system goes down and the Wi-Fi is really slow and we can't use our squares, you've got cash to pay for your entry. So if there's any further questions over the weekend, which we all know can come up, there is actually going to be an info phone line that you can call to speak to someone from the Friday to the Monday. And they'll be able to answer all your questions. So all this information that I'm sharing through the video posts, we're going to be working overtime to make sure we get out all our posts on social media, so we're keeping everyone informed. Because the last thing we want is for people not to have information and not to know what's happening at the event. So the draw is actually happening now as I speak to this video, and what's happening right now, the youth is being done. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to do this live, but in saying that, there's the KO app, so if you haven't got it, make sure you download it, because that'll have all the information from today, from the draw, from the youth, the women's and the men's. But you can also get online and watch the women's and the men's live draw happen tonight. But in saying that too, over the weekend, when the games are being played and all the scores are being coming through, they'll be updated straight away onto the app. So make sure you got the app, so just in case you're stuck at one field, you know what's happening on the other field and you can keep up to date. So thank you everyone for supporting Scbc to be able to carry this out. We've been holding this for 3 years. It's taken so much time, so much energy. There's been a lot of support out there from all different people, different services, organisations. We just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's actually been there, our biggest supporters. But also, it's about our mob, it's about getting out here, it's about supporting the KO, it's about coming together for Bunan, for ceremony, you know, let's see who's going to win it and take it out for next year. And good luck to all the teams. And I'm Cleone. I'm a part of the Scbc committee, and I've been holding this journey with my sister Melissa Wellington and Ben Wellington, along with Greg Wellington, you know, Rondell, and all the rest of the team that's been in this space with us. So just thank you, and I wish you a safe trip to get here for the KO. Thanks.